Welcome to Seven Vineyards Boxset Binge the Bible, episode 1. We're looking at Luke. So first of all, what is Luke's Gospel, Ben?
Luke's Gospel is the story of Jesus from his birth through his life, what he did, why people gathered round him, and why people put their hopes in him, and the things Jesus said and did that made a difference to them. It's written to what looks like a person called Theophilus, which means God lover. And that might have been one person, or it might have just stood for everyone in the world who was interested in the God of the Judean people, the Jews, but who wasn't Jewish themselves. So in other words, it's the point of view on Jesus and the Jews that's written for non-Jews, Gentiles, or us, basically. It's a great starting point for us if we want to start looking at Jesus the way they did. It's also the only gospel story which has a sequel, and we're going to get to that next week.
Brilliant. That sounds great. What are you expecting from it? I'll tell you what I'm expecting from it in a minute. What are you expecting from it, Ben?
I think it's always good to catch up with Jesus and remind myself of exactly how people saw Jesus right in the beginning when he made a first impression on people. I understand that life in that time was very challenging for a lot of people, and a lot of people were struggling with things that we would recognise today. Things like poverty, inequality, rulers who were power mad, and people who wanted life to be better but found it hard to change anything. Now, I know from history that Jesus spoke to those people and he showed them things which gave them hope that I think we would love to have today, right? And people were ready to follow Jesus then for a better life. And I'm interested to remind myself, or maybe find something else new about why. What really grabbed those people's attention about Jesus? And what did Jesus do with that? How did Jesus get them started on this new way of life?
That sounds cool. I agree. I think that would be absolutely brilliant to revisit that. And I'm anticipating just listening to this account of Jesus through the voice of Luke. I'm really interested to hear his voice and contrast that with the voice of the other writers of the Gospels. I like his introduction. You know, he's written this as an account for people who aren't that familiar with the Jewish history, and that's quite compelling for me as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting reacquainted with Jesus and with the type of person he was and the way he interacted with people.
Yeah, so we're going to get about 2/3 of the way through this week, and then we'll come back next week, share what we thought, and take the rest from there.
Yeah, so that's the plan for Luke, and we do hope that you can join us and listen with this as we binge on the account of Jesus' life according to Luke.
See you next week's podcast.